Hello, Saurav.
Yes, madam.
Saurav, now you can
Yeah,
start.
I can. Okay. Good morning, participants. For this session, we have with us Dr. Ahmed J. Obaid, Assistant Professor, Faculty Member, Com- Computer Science and Mathematics, uh, University of Kufa, Iraq. At the outset, I welcome Professor Assistant Professor Dr. Ahmed J. Obaid. And for this session, he will give a talk on fake feedback detection techniques in real-time business platforms. Welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. First of all, before I start my
Yeah,
presentation,
at
let me share. Can you hear me? I'm
before
audible?
starting your presentation, sir, we would like to give
Yes,
a
yes. Yes,
yes, sir. You are
welcome,
audible.
Professor Obaid.
Yeah.
Yes,
Before starting
yes, ma'am.
the session, I'd like to give a short introduction about Dr. Obaid. After getting his PhD from University of Babylon, Iraq, he is a certified weight training consultant, over 14 years of experience working as a faculty member at the University of Kufa, Iraq. He has taught courses in web designing, web scripting, JavaScript, VB.NET, MATLAB Toolbox, etc. at various institutes in USA and India. Dr. Ahmed is a member of Statistical and Information Consultation Center, University of Kufa, Iraq. Apart from this, he is also editorial board member in various research journal and international conferences. He has edited many books during his career. Dr. Ahmed has supervised many final year projects of bachelor's and master's in his main line of work and co-authored several scientific publications in journals, books, conferences with more than 75 research articles, 5 book chapters, 15 conference, 10 conference leading, 2 patents. He is also reviewed in many journals, Scopus, SCI, ESCI journals. During his career, he was keynote speaker in more than 60 conferences, 10 webinars, and has session many chairs in international events in various countries across the globe. With this, without taking much time, I give this platform to Dr. Obaid. Sir, please carry on from here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for this introduction. Let me start the presentation first. So, now my presentation is visible, please.
No. Yes.
Now it's
Yes.
visible.
Yes, it
Yes, it is
is.
visible, sir. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the organizing of this webinar, and thank you for the Department of Information Technology at the School of Engineering and Technology. Also, for thank you very much for Professor Sajid Imam for inviting me to present my research work in this faculty development program. So I will talk. Can you please confirm me how much time I have to present this work?
You have 1 hour time
One
till
hour.
yes 12:45.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. So today my presentation will discuss about the fake feedback and the detection techniques in real-time business platform. Let us define the business platform means the websites that provided the user facilities or services like purchasing or voting or maybe selling something. So these we are called to all these websites as a business because they can accept or send us some amount through these websites, or maybe we are watching some like announcement about products on their like Amazon or such as. So my presentation will focus on certain data set because that data set or that website's sorry, it was an open problem, and also the data set is for that website is also available for research work, and also available for apply some natural language processing techniques to for example, to find some solutions. So my presentation outline will discuss the following topics. At the beginning, we introduce the problem and discuss some what is the Yelp data sets and why we have selected the problem statement of this websites and the research work. And then we are going to the projects, and this research work, it was achieved by 2 months ago. It's my newly research work that achieved by with the my postgraduate students. So at the beginning, let us go for the business websites. For example, now if you want to purchase some products or items, whatever that item, suppose a smartphones, you are go to the some websites that provide these kinds of facilities, like you can watch the characteristics or the settings of each device, and then you are decided to watch or to see what are the feedbacks of other users. Suppose now let us leave the web business website. Let us go for web Facebook or some other social media platforms. Suppose if someone post in his own or in Facebook page a news or announcement about certain product or maybe a restaurant, hotel, whatever, the first things that you have decided to evaluate the post, you are go to the comments, the comments that made by other user that already joined to the conversation or joined to the activity of that post. And based on that, let us give one example. Suppose if I post about a movie, for example, and I said that movie is very good and is very wonderful and is very good story and blah blah blah. So you are watching the most of the users there. They are maybe either give positive response or negative response. Imagine that this response is related to other things like devices, like restaurant, like hotels, the products, company, peoples, famous peoples, actors, anything in our life. If we want to evaluate now in our life, if we want to evaluate some person, we are listening to our close friends or we are listening to other people's what they are said about that person, then we are analyze. I have heard some positive responses from m number of peoples and negative from n number, and then evaluated and then we decided. So by studying more than 100 papers that related to this research problem, we have listed some websites that already mentioned that we have a problem in this situations. Why? Because they are mentioned there in Yelp. We unfortunately we have find that some people they are using so many things to maybe to give negative feedbacks about certain item. Suppose if there is two companies like for example, now if you are imagine or you are browsing sorry YouTube or Google, you just browsing the advertise or announcement by Coca-Cola and Pepsi Cola. So you will find some advertise there, one company already fighting the other companies. So if you want to destroy some products or items or peoples or company or whatever, you employ there some committee that already give a negative feedback or a negative response or a negative things about that people or that products or whatever. If you want to highlight someone, you employ some peoples to give a positive responses about that things. So most of our committee evaluate the things, evaluate the their scenes by the comments of others. So this is the problem. in general. Let us go in deep to highlight what is the problem behind that. So based on that, we are focused to what is the most or major things already happened in the recent 5 years or 6 years or 3 years ago. We have seen that most of the peoples they are already employed as a groups to promote something in websites, to promote in social media, to promote in streets, and that things may be already emulated by other peoples or by other companies. Let us go for the highlight the topics is called fake reviews. I am working in fake and deepfake field since 3 years ago. I have issued two books that already discuss these topics, and started from 3 years ago by highlighting the techniques in our real-time life. We are because we are watching now. Now you cannot
Excuse
believe.
me.
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me. Yeah, your slides are not moving. We are still only able to see your first slide.
Ye- yes, ma'am. I
Now
think.
we can.
Yeah, I think because of I am make it available full screen, so I have it will be clear now because I am
Yes.
already browsing the slides. Yeah,
Okay.
so I try
Can you just
to.
come to the presentation mode?
Yes, ma'am.
Presentation mode. Come to the slide presentation mode.
Okay, but I think it's not visible now. It's visible.
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Okay. So please, ma'am, when I'm moving to the next slides, if it is not visible to you, I will exit and join again. Okay.
No, no, it's
Okay. So now I am talking about the slide title and overview of fake reviews. So to continue that fake reviews means the negative or positive feedback that made by people's in fake manner. It means that things is not real things or not neglectable things. Maybe we are talking something good or bad, but in real time that we are never watching that thing. So the fake reviews are actually made by the peoples or users already call them the spam users or spam peoples. What is the spam peoples are? The peoples who made the comments or who made the feedback to other peoples or to other committee, but in real time they are never using that products or never tasting that products or never checking that products, and they are giving their own or maybe they are pause decision. I will give one story about that things because before we are moving to next slide. One company, there is one employer from one company. He told me I'm just promote something to my office. So he said to me, "Sir, we can promote more than thousands comments for your products, and we are highlight this in many groups, and you will get a positive feedback from our committee, and that will help you to for example to promote your products in many, and then you will get a good benefits." So I told him, sorry, how you did that? He said, "Sir, we have more than 100 committee members, so for each one they have more than 5 to 6 to 7, maybe to 10 accounts in social media, and that accounts already activated, means already posted, share, comment something. So we if we are multiply that 100 members by 5 comments as example, so you will reach 500 comments. So based on that, let us focus on this. This situation we are called the fake scenario or fake feedback or fake comments that made by people. Now I am go to the next slides. I hope it will be visible uh, to all of you. In this screen, I am just capture one real-time screens for two users Is visible, mom? Sojita, mom, is visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Ah, great, great. So now, if you have seen that comments, here there are two users. They already we are using Yelp website. It's from USA. So and that we you can see there some people's they already give positive feedbacks about food in two restaurant or one restaurant. This is the real time, and these comments already in real time. So let us go for the next slide, and here we can categorize based on our research work. We are categorize the fake or spam reviews or comments or feedbacks for the following things. The first one is untruth reviews that either maybe it was generated for certain product and fake promotions that already promote some products means I am never give feedbacks to my peoples. No, I am just promote something else. For example, promote feedback like promote sorry products like smartphones, laptops, anything, wares, anything. So and I told I think we are watching so many actors on our TV and they are promote some like hair care or something products. So after we are testing that things, it will not like on the advertise. So this is the fake promotions and irrelevant contents means I am writing something is not related to the products. I think if you are watching some or you are just focused on some post over the social media, you will find some people they are writing something is not related to that product or not related to anything. So also this is one, but it will increase the comments or increase the activity of that post. For example, let us see that. So the lined reviews also they say the blind or non-normal posting. Like for example, if someone posts or comments now, if you are in regular situations, in our regular activity in our life, now if you are joined to Facebook, you will browsing some, for example, 10 products, but you cannot make comments for 100 products on the same day, or you cannot make a feedback for 10 foods kinds on same day and you are said I have tasted that food in because we have watching some peoples they are from another state and they are give a positive or negative feedback about a products or food or restaurant in another state and at the same time he give a feedback for a food for restaurant in another state and the space between these states is too much, they are so far. So how that user give a positive feedback or negative or whatever the feedback from him or her, but in two different locations. So this is actually very dangerous situation that made by the spammers. And the next category is redundant account. Means the spammers actually, if they want to make a good job for their company, what they are doing, they are like doing everything in the regular or same to the regular manner means because now if you are just checking some websites, if you are made some activity, for example posted some things or they already blocked you. Why? Because you are in your activities already increased from the certain threshold. You cannot review more than 10 products or 15 products. Why you are doing like that? For example, you are interested in sport but you are made a comments or feedback for something else. So anyway, the spammers they are already using more than one account, and also they already avoid they detecting them by some other existing systems, because most of the websites, if you are doing something maybe not regular, they already blocked you. So they will block your account for sometimes, or maybe they asking for verifications like email or phone number or whatever. So the challenges for detecting these scenarios or these situations, the noise identity means most of the business websites, we cannot find the correct information about the users who made that things. Means we cannot watch their affiliations in real time, or maybe known peoples or whatever. So fraudsters actually avoid to using their correct information, and the lack of traceability means we cannot monitor them in regular manner. Means we already have a limited characteristics to monitor all these, or maybe suppose if we are employ some techniques to knows this. I think we are breaking some rules in the privacy, so we cannot trace their activities in real time. Also, trading means that most of those people, they are already using techniques that maybe hiding their IP address, or maybe using real phone numbers, and maybe real information for their families. So they will make a committee. So you cannot block it him. Why? Because he already doing something in a smart way. He just give a positive. Now if I am posting something for my company and someone he hate me, he want to broken my company or my products, he employs some people start talking negative things about my products. I cannot give, or I cannot go to the police and say to them that man he said something on my product. They will told me this is the social media. We cannot catch all people's and asking them why they have told like that. But I think now we have to, I move to the next slide. We have to think about the techniques to restrict those kinds of peoples, or at least to filter those users, maybe blocking them, or maybe make their comments or feedback visible for some time after, till we are verified their comments, or maybe we are checking the activities of them. So let us go for the real-time applications. Now sorry, just to confirm, my presentation is visible?
Yes, sir. Your presentation is
Yes,
visible.
yes, yes,
Thank you,
please.
thank you. So now I am explaining the idea and theoretical. Now we have to go for the practical to apply our theories in real time. In real time, all of you know, real time is very difficult. The situations, the data sets, the collected information in real time in any subject. In real time, you are facing a lot of challenges related to many things. So now this data sets belongs to Yelp websites already made available for research work, and already they are mentioned. I will show you in the next slides. So this data sets already they have real-time data collected from their users and made available every year. That data set it was updated. Also, most of the information available there deals with the natural language means we are dealing with the review comments, with the feedbacks, with the bans, with many features I will explain in the next slides. Also, the most challenge in this data set is the ambiguity, and also the dark situation about detecting the fake feedback from positive feedback. We cannot now, let us say, suppose if I told you something about your friends and you are heard that things, you cannot decide if that thing is true or not. Why? On something you are sometimes, sorry, you are heard similar things, you cannot decide, you cannot recognize if that thing is real or not. I think in social media we are daily we are watching so many things, but we cannot recognize. We are leave that things to the time, and after time, after some time, maybe whatever, we are asking our friends, okay, what do you think about that news, if it is correct or not, if it was correct or not. So he said no, that was, it was made by bloggers to increase the views or comments or activities. So now real in our life we are watching a lot of things. We are watching photos in deepfake manner. We are watching videos in deepfake manner. We are watching news in deepfake manner. We are watching the feedback in deepfake manner. Deepfake, what is the subjects I am discussing now in this seminar? Deepfake is the output, or for example, is the things like we cannot recognize that things from it was real or not. But if you are thinking about the fake video or fake image, no, you can easily recognize that things it was fake. No, if you are watching some, for example, some post, you can decide it directly that post is not correct. Why? Because the language that used in that post, maybe the photo that used. But if I made the fake or the wrong things in very efficient manner, at that time you cannot recognize if that thinks it was real or not. You have to spend time to search about that to be sure. So let us go for the next slide. Here we are discuss the categories of this data sets, and they are
Hello.
already. Hello, ma'am. Yes.
Excuse me. Um, yes. Can you put your slide in slideshow mode?
Yes, yes, because I made in a slideshow, but it's not properly visible
Okay.
to anyone.
Okay.
So let us go for this. I think it will be very clear for your committee if they are watching these slides and whatever I talking in one by one.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, ma'am.
Please continue.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So now it's visible to
Okay, sir.
all of you. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. So the already this data set it was filtered by the company. Why? Because they are collect some reviews or feedbacks from the users who are using their websites, and they are categorize that feedbacks into four categories. The two categories are fake and non-fake, and the other two categories filtered and non-filtered. What is the difference among them that I have explained in the next slides? Okay, I am not the best. Okay, I'm just explain here. The fake and non-fake. Okay, that means they are already employ their own algorithm to filter that feedback. It was positive, negative, and if it is positive, it is real or not. And the same scenario for a non-fake on real. And the filtered and not filtered, most of the feedbacks belongs to these categories, two categories. They are said in these two categories. The filtered, they already blocked that feedback or the comments or reviews, and they have mentioned that we are not sure if that feedback it was real or not, fake or not, and the non-filtered that already available online. So let us go for to discuss this problem in deep manner. They already mentioned that in their official websites. Let us go for this. I think this one is more accurate. Here, the Harvard Business School Research Center, they already mentioned that the Yale data says, according to our analysis, uh, already have a problem to filter the legitimate reviews or feedback or from the real. Also, the Yelp websites already mention, already announced in their official websites, or we are facing a problem to deal with the more feedback that made by our users, and we cannot control these feedbacks. But why? Because most of the complaints comes to our websites from restaurant that already got a negative feedback, from our restaurant that already got negative feedback from users. But after we are checking the number of users who are give negative feedbacks to our restaurant, to our hotels, to our products, we are find that most of the users, they are not really visit our restaurant or hotels or company or whatever. Why? Because they said in this month, for example, May, they already we are receive 100 negative feedbacks from 100 users, but in that month we receive only 20%. How this possible? How that possible? 100 like for example negative feedback from 100 peoples that already mentioned they are visited our restaurant and they are tasted our product, but in that month we only receive 20, for example, and just give the summarize of their reports what they are mentioned in their websites. So this is the problem now. If I want to destroy something, I will employ my friends. You please give negative feedback about that people. For example, if that people just made submission to be head of department, to be president for something, to be anything, I can destroy him by collect 100 or whatever the number of negative feedbacks, and after the committee watching that things, they believe that man is not good or that woman is not good to be in that position. The same scenario for products, the same scenario for restaurant, the same scenario for anywhere, anything in our life. So how we can protect ourselves? How we can protect our? How can we provide a techniques to deal with these kinds of challenges in real time? Means I cannot suppose if you are dealing with some problems in your research work, you expect that problem is comes maybe in 10%, 20%, and maybe you are give a solution for a problem that may be a cure one for a probability 2.2. But in this, you just expect the probability of this problem will happen either now or maybe after sometimes, maybe up to 8.8, for example. So why? Because we are facing this challenge in many scenarios, like social media, like business websites, like whatever. Even in our life, we are hear something from our students, from our peoples, from our community, from our family. They are talking about certain people, and we cannot recognize which one he's talking real and which one he just give a fake feedback about that people. Maybe your brother, your sister, your mother, they she told you or he told you she already tasted that product and it is not good, but in real time they are not tasting that things. Why? Because if you are ask her or ask him in deep, no, I am not tasted myself, but my friend tell me like that. So this is the story in our life. So we have to make that things adaptable in our proposed techniques. So here I'm just give statistics. If you are watching that in their adaptable algorithm, they are able to find only 8,000, but more than 400,000 comments or feedback already blocked. Means they cannot decide if that feedback was real or not because of the challenges of natural language processing, how you deal with that thing. So here also I just summarize some of the researchers that talking about this problem. I think more than 10 references they already mentioned the inability to detect the fraudsters in Yale datasets. This is very good challenge to start our work. I'm just working with 2 students in master degree and 1 student in PhD degree for this problem. And I will let you know what is my highlight for the that already achieved in this research work, in the current research work that for my students, and what are the next steps in my mind. So let us go for define the problem, the research problem in deep manner. I have find that imbalance classification there. I think if you are go to the tables that already in the 2 slides before, you will find that things is because we have 8,000, we have 400,000. How is it possible to make some machine learning or deep learning techniques to deal with this kinds of data says you have to think more. So, lack of required fraudulent information. Actually, because of the privacy, you cannot got more information about the user. Suppose if I told you something, you are just browsing about my name, you will find all my circles, my friends. You will ask one of my friends that you believe it was honest, you will find the reality behind him. Why? Because my information already available to you. But in these websites or whatever the business websites or already on social media, some peoples they already mention their correct information in their profile or in their, but some others they are not mentioned. But in business websites you cannot browsing anything related to the users because of the privacy. So to make that things available for research folk, they already give the users in in coding manners. Means that already change the name of that users to suppose to hashtag or hash ID. So redundant link of harm users. So many users they are using different accounts, different. Maybe they are using different locations even because some smart websites they can't detect your real IP address. So according to the IP address, according to the TCL connection, TCP connections, so they can't detect you from where you are made that comments. But in the administrator side, it's not in the user side or in research website. But some users, what they are doing, they made comment from home, they made comment from coffee, they made comment from office. So he made some different locations. So I think these techniques also face a lot of challenge because of the network problems and most of the users they already smart and they can't change their IP address and whatever. The fake reviews identification challenge. Now, if you are watching something or some text in real time in anywhere, you cannot detect that things. Why? Because there is no certain technique that can read that text and they told you that that things is was real or not. Even you are ask your friends, what do you think about this comments? What about? He said, I don't know. We have to test it. If someone told you, for example, the smartphone from gel company is not good, or from Huawei or from Apple, this version is not good. So how you can believe that? You have to test that products, and then you are reached to the truth
मुझे
tables.
बंद कर दो जी
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ
Hello, hello.
Subhasmita Pani, please mute
there is
yourself.
chocolate lost there is chocolate
Subhasmita Pani, please mute yourself.
lost
Okay, please you carry on. Please carry
Okay.
on. So,
Shall I continue, ma'am?
yes, please. Yes, please.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So now we are go to the objectives. To I have in my recent research work now already I achieved one research work for my one of my students in MSc degree. We are select only the comments or feedbacks that made by the users, and then we are compare other things that already related to that feedback. I will show you. So I will simplify that things to be understood by you. So if you are heard something in your mind, you just evaluate that things if it is good or bad. Why? Because in your mind you are just analyze the words that using in that feedbacks. Oh, he that my friends he just tell me something good about that product. So why you are give a decision that things is good and bad, and maybe you are give a decision that in neutral means there is nothing bad, nothing good. It's in neutral, so it's there is no decision about it. So according to this behavior, what we have decided to use the polarity of the text. We are using Marvel algorithms to decide it, if that comment it was made in positive or negative. So from this points, we are going to understand the comments that made by or the feedback that made by our users. This is the first step. From these things, we need to understand. Let us go one by one. If someone give positive or negative, we are not reached to this results. In the real time, they are not reaching to these results. Why? Because they said this is filtered and non-filtered and fake and non-fake. But before we are go to the fake and non-fake, we have to know if that feedback it was positive or negative before you are classifying that feedback it was fake or not. And more than 4,000 filtered and 4,000 or 5,000 feedback already non-filtered. It's already available online. This is the first things. We have applied our analyzing for the text to make the decision if that comments or feedback it was positive or negative. Then we have to go to the next step. Here, sorry, I'm just missing to view the research work that achieved in this data sets. And you can imagine that also in this table, I'm just selecting the few. In 2023, they have reached to only part. It's not all the data sets, only part 95 or whatever. They are using a small part of this data sets. Why? Because of the challenge. I think is now proposed. We have reaching based on the collected data sets. We are reaching to the 98 on that data set. So this is the proposed I have listed, and the good things in this data set means the dataset complexity or the dataset size in this year in 2014 is not equal to the dataset size in 2021 or 23. Why? Because year by year they are increased the dataset by collecting the feedbacks from their user for every year. This is the good things. Means if you are find my system achieve 98, it's better than, for example, this is 95. It's not like that because in 2016 the size of that set it was very small than 2023. So and what are the techniques also should be deal with the more complex and more size contents. So let us go for the next step in our analysis. Here we are selecting this. We are made a review for the text that made by the users who are doing the feedback about this product. So suppose this is real time. I'm talking about real time. Here also we are analyze this user by collecting the information. If he's that user, it was suppose so many companies now in our life, they are employ some user to evaluate or some people to evaluate their products. Why? Because those users or those peoples they already known by a committee. They are honest. They are not telling things in fake manner, or they are not give bad things without testing that products or whatever. Those people got a inspection from committee because of this of their honesty. So according to that, those people maybe their fans, their for example, let us say flowers more than other users. Also, what they are, what are the feedback that comes from other users upon them. Suppose if I tell something in my social media, suppose the Facebook, you will find some users already made comments because the problem, the challenge is not dealing with the content or feedback. No, no, no. It's dealing with the peoples who are laughing, who are like your comments or your feedback. Suppose you are a professor, okay, you got a respect from all your community, from college or from your state, from your city, and you are give your feedback about something. You will find some people you do not know them. They already give a false feedback about your feedback. For example, they are made laughing icons. They are made something else. So if someone watch your feedback and they have seen there are so many dislike in your feedback, also he cannot believe your comments or your, uh, for example, whatever the decision you are made there. So the challenge in many if you are thinking about one side, you have to find the solution for another side and whatever. So to summarize and to because of the time limits, I will talk in fast manner for the next slides. Here we are just collect this information and what we are changing that things to the numbers to integer because these already these information and features related to every reviewers we are combined whatever the users who made that comment or feedback whatever the comments that made by each one. So we are analyzing and we are go to the design the pre-processing system to a proposed system to identify the fake comments or feedbacks or reviews. So here in the first step, we are employ the polarity techniques and we are categorize each comments or each feedback into three categories based on the word that are using in this. How that already did by using polarity calculation algorithm and we are make our pre-processing scenarios over each comments. We are combine each comments or each feedback to the user and for that user when he made that comment what are the feedbacks of others. We are collect all this information with more than 100 features to reach to the decision if that feedback was real or not and then we are compare that feedback to the predefined class. Here also what we are using TF-IDF2 because we are if you watching some real-time text, most of the text already suffer from unknown symbols, words. Maybe suppose if you're talking with your friends, you are using some words, please, PLS, but in that words it's not defining in the dictionary of English language. So maybe thanks, THX. And also you cannot find all blah blah. So you cannot find these kinds of words. So in TF-IDF, we are find it is very good for dealing with these kinds of noise words with the help of other pre-processing techniques. And the second things, what we are find also, we are find we have to use biogram. Biogram means the combination of two words. Why? Because if I told you, if you are asking me about your about my smart device, so my phone is belongs to Huawei company. If you are asking me how that, so I will tell you it is not bad. So what is the meanings of not bad? Not bad means it is good, but in some percentage, like in some, like it's not. I'm not tell you it's not. It's a bad. It's not bad. Okay, not bad. You are agree with 0.5 percentage, for example, or with 0 percentage. Okay, it's going on. So we are facing this challenge in the comments. Why? Because if you are employed the text in real time, you will find that was bad because the pre-processing already not bad, already not word, it already truncated or deleted by the pre-processing algorithms, and it will leave, it will stay only bad words, and it will finally that feedback categorized or maybe classified into negative uh, feedback. But here we are just made the combination and we are find some word that already used by our committee to identify. Here I am using the encoding techniques for to make that is very good for pre-processing and also here I am using word to vector coding techniques. Here this is the extracting of the features. What we are doing here, extract the features what I have talking in the previous screens about the users, and I am build the density matrix with all the features that are related to each feedback, and also employ and combine the encoding techniques. For example, there is also because so because we have a text and we have some other features in integers calculations, means the numbers that, so we have to combine them in certain vectors. So I'm using the density matrix representation by embedding all the values there. Here I'm just analyzing the features. You just imagine that for each feature also there is another features that related to that things. Here I'm just made categorize each feature, is it is behavioral or texture feature. So just to define that, what is the difference between behavioral and texture? Suppose if I written something in your WhatsApp now, you just you just maybe you are think I am angry or I am happy because you are analyzing the text. But if you are watching me face to face, no, you will find different things. So the text means the textual contents. It's we are called that things textual behavior or textual contents. And the behavior, now if I repeat something, if you are doing something, is called behavioral. Behavioral means the behavior or the actions that made by users. So this is also another challenge. Now I am working on it, and I'm reaching to good, very good results based on the selected data set. I'm just choosing 6 millions records from certain products from restaurant that already located in certain state to dealing with that. Why? Because you have to deal with billions feedbacks if you are consider all this, and we cannot dealing with that much of data set or data because of many restriction. So here I'm just analyze the contents for each one, how many friends he already own in the because some information already available in that set, and how many times he made the reviews, how many times he made accounts, what are the feedbacks. Here I'm using the Ilmo network for the embedding. I already talking about the embeddings because I have to combine textual features with the numeric features. Have the representation of that algorithm to I think most of you they know, because of the pre-processing and dealing with the algorithms, we have to make all everything as a vectors. And here I'm designing the stack model, the dense sparse model. Here I am using in this research work two techniques. That one is machine learning, and one is deep learning. Why? Because in the first time I have to deal with the problem in the machine to understand the behavioral of textual by employing that. Then I learn my model and jumping to the deep learning model. So here I'm just give a statistics for my research results that achieved in the sample of data set that I have choose, and the metrics that used by me for the polarity. The tones means polarity. The tones. If I talk something now, if you are watching the okay, the tone of that things is it was good, positive. The tones means the behavioral of the text that already you have seen or heard or watched over the media. So here the confusion matrix of the research work. Here I am just give statistics for the or sample of feedbacks that made by the users from selected data sets. The accuracy for the sample data sets, but why I have decided to use bigrams than 1 gram or triple gram or whatever. I have testing all them, and I have watching. I have concluded that by using bigram, I have reached the good accuracy than using consider each word as a single or as a token. Also, this is the sample of my of the accuracy that I have reached by in the testing data sets and the confusion matrix. And thank you. I'm sorry if I took much time than allocated time, but I hope it will be useful for you, for all of you, to understand my research work in this field of study. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmad. So now participants can ask questions. And few questions are in the chat box. Saurabh, please take up the questions.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the presentation, sir.
Welcome. It's my pleasure.
Yeah. Sir, there are some certain questions here. First one is, sir, how can stop the unwanted post and call from cyber activities?
Can you please repeat again? Your voice is not clear in my side.
Question is, sir, how
Ah,
can stop the unwanted post and call from cyber activities?
okay. Cyber activities means that that user already made comments, already write some comments, already joined to many posts, already something I already talked in my seminar, highlighted few things. But if you go to the screens in each category or in each product, you will find so many activities. The activities that by the other committee and the activities that made by that person itself. So according to that, you have a matrix to measure each activity for each one. So if that person already in passing the threshold that you are made by you can block it his accounts or block it his login into for some time, and later you can monitor that situation because actually this is the problem. There is no certain things to you have to consider to follow that cyber or not. Because if you, I think you are here about DDoS attacks and attackers what they are using. Already there are physical things, so many traffics that sent by them, but those peoples in different manners, those people they already using everything regularly. So you have to think about something in advanced manner. I already give some points about that.
Thank you, sir. Sir,
Welcome.
another question is, how can uh, i- uh, is it possible to restrict short messages from peak people based on your technique?
Saurav, you are not
Is it
audible.
possible to restrict short messages?
I think you are not audible clearly to me.
Am I
To my,
audible?
Okay, let me, Saurav, I'm just reading the question. Is it
okay.
possible to restrict short messages from fake people?
Yes. Can you please repeat again to be clearly answer the people?
Okay, is it possible to restrict short messages from fake people?
Yes, yes, yes. According to my selected data sets, I have reached to the accuracy that is it was very good with 98 percentage by filtered or restrict the messages or feedbacks. Let us call that things feedbacks. Why? Because the feedback comes either comments or either actions or either text. All we are defining that things is a feedback. So, but I am only choose a sample of data sets. I think 6 or 5 millions. But if I consider all that, no, maybe there are several challenges. But I think now, based on the Amazon, they already mentioned that things. They are year by year they have developed their algorithms or systems to be able to fighting these kinds of things. But I think we can reach that to that results.
Uh, yes, any questions? Any more? So participants are requested you to share your email ID and
Okay.
uh, they may contact you in future for their research work. And one more question I just want to ask you. Uh, okay, one more question is there in the chat box. Considering the advancement in the field of transformers based models, how you see the future applicability of LSTF based model? It was also my question. I thought of
Yes,
asking the same one.
yes, ma'am. Based on my collected data sets, this it was comfortable. But if I con now, I am just dream to really, I am just dream to collect to increase my data sets. But I don't know. I have to test it to tell. But with 6 million records, that model it was good to handle this much of data sets because mom by increase the data sets means the number of records increased, the number of memory it was increased, and I cannot test if I cannot give a decision if this model is good for if the data sets becomes 100